How's it going, gang? It's MPCavalier and the DoitIndy crew, and welcome to a special bucket list edition of 3 Questions. I'm sitting here with one of my favorite musicians, Mikael Akerfeldt from Opeth. Welcome to Indianapolis.
Thank you.
I'm sitting on the Opeth's tour bus right now. Opeth's playing at the Vogue tonight on their Indianapolis tour stop as they roll through the Midwest and points west on their American tour. You guys have been on tour for quite a long time in support of your album Heritage, my favorite Opeth record. I wanted to ask you about some of the conversation that went on across the fan base when Heritage came out. I think a lot of fans were kind of scratching their head, saying...
Scratching their Opeth records.
Yeah, exactly. Saying, what exactly is happening here? Because they threw us a curveball with Damnation, and then we got an album like Watershed, which took us back to a comfort zone. And I think a lot of the kind of classic Opeth fans who were used to the heavier, more aggressive music, the more aggressive vocals, heard Heritage and really didn't know what to make of it. Now, a lot of bands who find themselves in that position find their fan base getting a little bit diluted, but I thought that the fans just kept coming to the shows. It didn't seem to deter them at all from going to the shows, buying the records, and still supporting the band. Have you guys stumbled across some kind of amazing secret formula for fan retention? Why do you think that the fans continue to come out in droves and support you guys?
Well, we didn't, I mean, we saw, like, as usual, people talk shit on the net. And I'm not sure if those guys ever go out, you know? Because when the record, like, I don't know what it means in terms of how it's being received, but it was the highest charting record that we ever had. We've been touring, we're going to be at 200 shows after this tour, something in support of Heritage.
Yeah.
So people are certainly coming out to see us. I don't know, I mean, some people absolutely hate that record, and some people absolutely love that record.
Yeah, I absolutely love that record.
Not bad.
It's
well,
my
I love
favorite.
it. I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
But I think it's kind of, you know, metal fans are a bit more reserved than I thought. You know? And we could see that, but like I said, it was only like online, and I don't really go looking that much.
Right.
I do check Blabbermouth every now and then, and it's kind of
fun. It's a dangerous place.
Yeah, it's a lot of like people like with issues, I think there. Yeah. But it's kind of fun to read. You know, I read the news, basically the metal news. And, you know, if there's something about us, maybe I read some comments too sometimes. But it's not like it's gonna, you know, that whole negative criticism that's on the internet is almost like entertainment to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
As it should be.
Yeah, and the people who come up to me, not once have anyone ever said that I hate your record to my face. And if they would, that's fine, you know. Like, but it's just people said, oh, their career is over and blah blah blah, turning their backs on metal, which is kind of stings, you know, in the eyes of metal fans.
I think that you turned your front towards something.
Yeah, I think we're metalheads.
Yeah.
There's no secret about that, but there's also a little bit more to it than that. You know,
right.
We do listen to all forms of music, and I refuse to get boxed in, you know, with this band. We do what we want. You know?
That's good.
And in my opinion, that's metal.
Yeah, keep doing it. That
That
is very metal. That's a very metal moment for Mikael Akerfeldt of Opeth. Let's talk for a minute about the state of prog now. They've been putting nails in its coffin for as long as we can remember since it started. This music will never survive. It's too busy, it's too technical, it's too self-indulgent, it's too overindulgent, but it keeps going. And guys like yourself and your good friend Stephen Wilson have become kind of torchbearers for this music. You were on the cover of Prog magazine last year touting your love for this music. And every couple of years we find ourselves in another prog renaissance. Why do you think it is that this music continues to find new generations of fans?
I don't know, but I like to think it's, you know, some of those records were just great. You know? Some of those bands did stuff that you never heard since, you know, or before. And for me, I mean, I didn't start with bands like Dream Theater and Face Warning. I started with Camel and you know, Wishbone Ash, which I'm not sure if they're progressive, and yes, Genesis, King Crimson, like those kind of bands, because like in the late 80s you could buy those vinyl, you know, because everybody's throwing their vinyl out. buying CDs, and I always loved vinyl, so I could pick up those records for next to nothing.
Right.
I didn't even know who Thundergraph Generator was, but the cover is cool.
Right.
It's like $2.
Yeah.
I buy it.
It's great stuff.
And I stumbled upon a lot of really good bands, and then of course along comes bands like Porcupine Tree, which I discovered on their third album, Sky No Silence, which I guess is technically the third record or whatever. Fell in love with them. Fell in love with Dream Theater when they came out. They were doing something heavy, but I could hear that they'd been listening to Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy, you know. So like, it shaped guys like myself.
Sure.
A metalhead, just finding all of these other forms of music that gave me an idea that we could go somewhere. We were a substandard death metal band in the beginning. I was incorporating influences from metal bands like the Scorpions, Maiden, Sabbath, Zeppelin, that kind of stuff. But once I discovered the prog rock, symphonic rock music, it was just like something happened.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the songs got longer and there was more things going on. I started singing clean as well as screaming. And we were one of the first bands to create a new form of prog rock. I mean, we were much more brutal than Dream Theater in terms of like, we had the death metal.
And then they started doing it.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I even did some death metal vocals with them. On stage. But I don't really know. I think people, there's always like a counter reaction to mainstream just pumping out, like feeding people shit, you know, music, commercial stuff. That's almost like it feels almost like scientists have taken time to look into, okay, what sells.
Yeah.
And people know that sex sells, and pretty girls and pretty ladies, boys sell the shit, you know. But I think there's a counter reaction when people like me are just interested in good, interesting music, you know. So it will never go away.
Yeah, and that's why it perseveres, exactly.
Yeah.
While you've been on this tour, the set lists have evolved. Of course, when you first went out on tour, Heritage was the centerpiece of the show.
Yeah.
And now I'm not going to give anything away for those of you who haven't seen the show yet. But the set list that you guys are doing on this leg of the tour represents a very evenly distributed cross-section of almost your entire catalog. What's the thought process that goes into the set list? Is it just songs that you guys just say, oh, we haven't played this song, we want to play this song? Are there outside influences? What's the mindset behind the set list?
Well, when we started, we had a new record. Heritage was new, we wanted to promote that record. So we did a bunch of tours where we had 6 or 7 songs from the record. And we also took out all of the heavier songs, like the super heavy songs with the screams, for the reason I wanted to have like a set list that kind of would fit together with those new songs. And I was also a bit wary if the scream's gonna wear my voice out, because I had so much clean stuff to sing. So we did a couple of tours like that, and it went down really well, I think. But again, some people, you know, play some fucking metal, you know, at the shows. And people had this, you know, preconception that we had turned our backs on not just metal, but also our own metal, more metal sounding records, which was never the case. It was just a new record. We wanted to promote that album. And now that album is not new anymore. So that's why we're mixing it up a bit more.
Yeah.
And also, like when we pick a set list, we do we want to like playing songs. I mean, we were playing some songs that are, so to speak, fan favorites, and I just stopped the band midway. It's like, I hate playing this song. I don't want to play this song.
Right.
Maybe they want to hear it, but I don't want to play it. So we took out some songs, like popular songs, but then, you know, there's songs that we love playing, like Deliverance, for instance, is a fan favorite, and we still love playing it. So
our cameraman Derek Kendall is one of his favorite tunes.
Good.
Yeah.
But there has to be a little bit of both. I don't want to be up there being bored to tears playing some of my own shit, you know. So it has to be, I mean, we're not completely ignorant to the view of the fans either. You know, we know that we want to give them something.
And they know that you know that, and I think that's probably part of the secret of the fan base sticking with you.
But it has to be dynamic. A set list has to be dynamic.
Sure.
So if I go to, say, metal shows, like especially contemporary metal, it's just
Right.
Thank you, good night.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and we do it. You know,
Right.
ups and downs and creating dynamics, which I like to think keeps people's interest up a little bit during live shows. I can get really bored at live shows if it's just the same, you know. And we have nothing going for us either. It's just 5 of us on stage. There's no screens or you know,
no dancing girls.
No dancing girls. No, you know, no eye candy.
Right.
It's just 5 of us playing the songs as good as we can, trying to pour our emotions into whatever song we're playing. And that's it, but still people come out to see us.
Yeah.
Which is...
You guys keep doing what you're doing and they'll keep coming out.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
Yeah, good. It makes all of us happy too. This tour is in its, I think it's in its final couple of weeks. You guys are heading to Flint, Michigan, Joliet, Illinois. I know you're doing St. Louis, Des Moines, Fargo, North Dakota. Go Bears. Go Bears. Love that movie. And then you're swinging west to LA for a special show at the Roxy, where my good friend Lou Fazio is going to be checking in. What's going to happen next? Should we start getting ready for the next Opeth opus? He said,
not yet.
With great anticipation.
Now I've been writing a little bit, you know, working on some stuff. I think that's what we do after this tour. We have a few festivals in Europe, not many, just a few, because need a holiday first and foremost, and then getting seriously into the writing type of thing, and maybe record later this year.
Cool. I hope you won't keep us waiting too long, but in the meantime, if you have not checked out an Opeth album and you're into prog, if you're into metal, listen, if you're into music, check these guys out. Great records, Watershed, Ghost Reveries, all of them, Heritage, Damnation, they're all fantastic. Check them out. Available through all the usual channels. Do it, you won't be sorry. But before you do that, let's do 3 questions with Mikael Akerfeldt from Opeth. What's your favorite cover version of all time?
It's a difficult question.
Well, what's your favorite cover version to play? What's your favorite song of someone else's to play?
Well, we played a couple of covers on one of these tours. We played a Swedish song by a very obscure Swedish pop band called Hans of the Wolf United. Okay. And the song is called Var kommer barnen in, which basically means where do the children translate them. It sounds almost like a charity song, but you know, it's a very sad song, which I love playing.
You like playing that?
I love it. I love playing that.
I know that you're a big record collector. I also know that you have a family. Now, what's the record in your collection that you'll only listen to when the family is out for the day? So you have a couple of hours to yourself in the house. It's your guilty pleasure record. What's your guilty pleasure record?
I don't care for guilty pleasures.
No?
I have Mariah Carey on my iPhone. I'm not supposed to. I have Shania Twain on there. I'm not supposed to.
That's the one that would surprise people, I guess.
Yeah, from this moment on. Wow.
Yeah, mine is Oingo Boingo's 4th album. You know Oingo Boingo? They were like an LA party. You know Danny Elfman, the film composer, that was his band in the 80s.
Right, never heard of him.
Yeah, that's. I feel pretty guilty every time I listen.
Well, you know, you get that like sometimes, especially if you had a few drinks, your mind doesn't work as well.
Right.
And you think that your guilty pleasures, you can actually make someone else like these songs. Like,
oh,
okay guys, I'm going to play this to you. Shania Twain. And you see everybody rolling their eyes. And of course they hate it.
It's so cool to know that you go through the same shit that we all do.
Yeah.
What about, well, this is the one that people kind of, they don't like this question, but what's the one album you absolutely could not live without?
It has to be a long album. If I had to give away all my records and keep one, it'd have to be the White Beatles record.
The White Album.
Because it's a double album. And it's got some metal.
Sure.
Helter Skelter.
Absolutely. Great metal song.
It has some folk, you know, like Mother Nature's Son, Blackbird. It has some avant-garde. Revolution. Number 9.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Blues on there too.
Revolution. And Year Blues.
Fantastic.
It's got some beautiful ballads. It's got some crazy, what's it called? Sweet honey pie.
Sweet. Yeah.
Wild honey pie.
Wild honey pie. Yeah.
Honey pie.
Yeah.
Crazy. So it's some like good old rocking songs like USSR. So that's you know, it's a pretty flawed record, but you can't take anything out.
Yeah, my favorite quote from A Beatle about that record was Paul McCartney said that they got so much criticism about that record when it came out. It's too long, it's too varied, there's too much filler on it. And McCartney's quote was, "Fuck off, it's the bloody Beatles, why tell them?" I just laughed so hard when he said that. And that's from Maverick himself. Mika, I don't know how to say thank you sincerely enough for giving us a couple of minutes of your time and talking to us. Opeth's one of our favorite bands. We absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for including Indianapolis on your tour.
Thank you.
Go see these guys if they're coming to a city near you. Check opeth.com for all the upcoming dates. Get an Opeth album if you don't have one. You can't go wrong.
All of them.
Get them all. Absolutely, get them all. I have them all. You won't be sorry. Mika, thanks again.
Cheers.
So much. Cheers. Have a great show tonight. Could I trouble you in your least dangerous metal growl to say, "Do it indie"?
I'm not gonna growl.
Okay.
But I can say do it indie.
Do it indie. Listen to this man. He knows well.
Should I say it now? I already said it, but I'm gonna say it so I need a little bit of a pause.
Go for it. Do it indie. Listen to this man. He knows. Do it indie.
I drew this.